Hello everyone, Matt from Obsessively Clean Detailing. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to take you through one of the many motorcycle wash and protection packages. This protection package is the 6-month sealant. Fantastic option. Let's dive right in. As you can see, this motorcycle isn't that dirty. The owner takes really good care of it. It's a brand new motorcycle and it's kept under 2 different covers. We're going to start out using our 3 wash bucket method. The foam cannon on the pressure washer. We will pre-soak the motorcycle. I will use the 3rd bucket that is dedicated specifically for the tires and wheels. It will also be used on the engine here today. In the pump sprayer, we have a solution, a road film remover, and I will hit that on the lower end of the motorcycle. In the bottom of the buckets, we have grit guards, 3 grit guards in each. The green, the one on the left, is just the soap. The one on the right with the red is just for rinsing out our wash mitt, and obviously the one on the far left is just for wheels and tires and the engine, things that are really dirty. So we're going to agitate, get our soap nice and foamy, and get started. This is one of my favorite parts. It's just so satisfying. As you can see, today's a little bit cool. This was recorded right at the end of December 21st, I believe, something right around there. This was the last detail of 2021. It did end up warming up later in the day, so I was able to apply all the protectant as needed. Sio-2 Sealant. I'm going to spray down the engine, even though it really didn't need it, but this is going to get any kind of grease that might have been leaking out, bugs, road film. It pretty much takes care of everything. It'll take any kind of old waxes or sealants off of the surface and prep the area for new protection, so we can ensure that the new protection goes on properly, adheres properly, to give us the most amount of longevity. Down here on the bottom is definitely the worst part of the motorcycle. We have a little bit of tar, some bug guts, and we're going to use our Tar X by CarPro along with the Sio-2 Sealant to take care of everything down here on the bottom. As you see, it took a little while. I had to do it a few steps, but in the end, it came out really nice. One important thing to note, the Sio-2 Sealant along with the tar remover, if you allow it to dry, it will damage the substrate. Do not allow it to dry. Make sure you flush the area graciously. Geon tire and rubber cleaner, one of my favorite rubber cleaners. What we're looking for, after we apply it, we're going to allow it to dwell. And we know when the surface is completely clean after we agitate. If it continues to be brown the way it is, or darker, we need to continue spray down with our hose, our pressure washer, move on to another application, and we need to continue those steps until you see it here. What we want to see is all of that material is white. The client stated that he dropped something plastic on his tailpipe and it melted. He was unable to get it off. He used multiple different methods, including using a penny, to try to scrape it off. Sio-2 Sealant took care of it. If that wasn't able to do the job, then we would have had to move into a polishing step. However, this is absolutely fantastic stuff. It takes care of a lot of different contaminants. Remember to neutralize the chemical or flush it more than you think you need to avoid any sort of unpleasantries. Geon iron, we're going to use that to take any kind of iron particles that are caught in the substrate, using science. We're going to use our foam cannon to neutralize that chemical before we move on to the contact walk. As you can see, I use my wash mitt on the bottom of the green bucket. I rub it on the bottom of the grit guard, And then I go ahead and move along from top to bottom on whatever surface I am cleaning, making sure to turn the wash mitt over as I go. When I put the wash mitt into the rinse solution, again, I rub it against the grit guard multiple times, take it out, wring out whatever water is in there, and then put it in our soap solution. Next, we're moving on to the first step of the protection package. To ensure that every inch of this bike is protected, I'm using a spray-on rinse-off sealant. You'll notice on the tank where we haven't applied the sealant yet, the water is clinging to the surface, and where we have applied it down on the bottom, it evacuates quickly. How it works: the molecules get excited from the pressure of the water, which make it adhere to the surface, making it a great option for tight spaces, small intricate things. And you don't have to worry about getting it on the brakes, because it's not going to make it slick like that. It will come off the brakes. Just go ahead and ride. As you can see, it's extremely hydrophobic. The water just wants to evacuate the panel as soon as it can. Like Boy Scouts, never leave a trace. Always make sure to leave your workspace cleaner than when you arrived. Next, we're going to use forced air and one of my favorite towels. It's called the Liquidator. It's by the Rag Company. It's fantastic. We're going to get as much water off as we possibly can, which is all of it. We want to ensure we get all the water off, so that way when we move to our next protection stage, that it adheres properly and we don't have any water spotting, because the detail is not over if you have water spots left on the substrate. As you can tell from the edits, it takes a minute to get it dry. For the seat, we're going to use Geon Leather Coat. It's a fantastic option. As you can see, it goes on looking glossy, but over time it will diminish. In the video you can actually see as it looks really glossy and then drops back to an OEM finish. It was quite cold and moist out, very humid, so I used a heat gun to help speed up the curing process. 2 coats. Moving on to the sealant itself, any area that I can physically get to will have this sealant applied. This sealant is extremely user-friendly if you work in a controlled environment or on a cool day or in the shade. In the sunlight, it is extremely difficult to work with. It will dry quickly, it will be streaky, and you'll have to deal with the repercussions. Luckily, if you take a wet rag and bring it over the surface, you should be able to minimize the streaking. But just don't use it in the sun. As you can see, every single spot that I can reach has double the protection. And in the end, man, does that thing shine. Just gorgeous. As always, thanks for watching. If you're interested in this protection package or any of the protection packages that I offer, give me a call, 267-753-9388. Visit us on the web, www.obsessivelycleandetailing.com, or check out the Facebook page for recent projects, updates, and we'll see you on the next one.